Stephanie from Oh You're Lovely, where we carry the largest selection of wood flowers. How y'all doing? I am looking a little... It's hot, and I didn't feel like wearing makeup today, so it is what it is. But today's tutorial is going to be so much fun. It's multi-stepped, very crafty, and I think you guys are going to get inspired and also just have a ton of fun with it. So let's roll the intro and then we'll get to it. Alright you guys, welcome back to this tutorial, and this actually was a project we did over on Facebook a couple weeks ago now, and the overwhelming response to it was nothing but, oh my gosh, I love this so much. So I figured we should make this for YouTube too. Like, you guys should not be held out for a really fun project. So it's going to be a little bit of a funky junk type of piece, as I like to refer to them as. We're gonna use something and upcycle it to something else, and we're gonna play with some succulents. So let's jump into it. I'll show you the materials, and then we'll make this lovely what will probably turn into a door hanger. So let's do it. The first supply you're going to need is succulents. Now I've already dyed these. We do have a few tutorials on how to dye succulents, so I will do my best to link them in the description below. But just to give you an idea of some of the flowers that I used, this is Artie, which Artie has bark already on there, so it gives a two-tone without having to do anything extra. American Beauty, which is typically dyed to look like a rose, but yes, it can turn into a succulent as well. We've got Water Lily, we have a Dahlia, we have a Miss Ivy, which I two-toned, Chippy, I believe this is Dazzle, Harvest Rose, Harvest Water Lily. No, I'm not the greatest with names. And then I also have some minis, little mini American Beauties, little mini Zinnies. I do want to talk about real quick before we jump into everything else. When it comes to these two-tone flowers, what I like to do, these are kind of my color palettes a lot of the time. Red, orange, a light pink, a hot pink, and a purple. So you can kind of see those throughout some of these. I didn't do a ton of two-toned flowers. It just kind of depends on your preference. And I don't know that I have a red one. I didn't do a red one in this group. But those are the colors and the mixtures I like to use for succulents. If you're not interested in dyeing your own succulents, that's okay, I got you. We have two different types of already pre-dyed succulents, just a regular, traditional more succulents. And then we also have, you guys, a unicorn succulent mix. Oh, we do. Well, hey lovelies, it's me, Stephanie, from the future. Okay, let me explain myself. So this tutorial was going swimmingly well, and then all of a sudden, I have this fun little feature on my camera. I think we've talked about this before, because sometimes things happen when I'm making a video, and that thing happened today. I have this fun little feature, not today. It's been a couple days now. I'm still going over the fact of what happened. I have a slow-mo feature that's right next to the record button. And I hit the slow-mo feature without realizing it. And so the entire tutorial was put in slow motion, and when it's slow-mo, it also doesn't get any sound. It doesn't pick up any of the talking in between. So, the project's already done. I didn't realize it till I was uploading my files. So, the rest of this tutorial, guys, I promise, this will never happen again. Also, I'm gonna refilm the outro, but the rest of this tutorial is going to be a voiceover. So I hope you still enjoy it. It's a really fun project. And now let's dive into it, shall we? Okay, so here are the rest of the supplies that you're going to need. Now, yes, that is a cheese box. My husband gave that to me. I think it's something that is probably more common in Wisconsin than other places. But I love the top, and I've already painted it. It didn't come that way. It was that blonde wood, but we painted it the color Tahiti. We do carry that paint in the shop over at ohyourelovely.com. I use these cheese box lids for all sorts of different projects. Now, to make the sign, what I did was I already cut out all of my words on some vinyl with my Cricut maker. Fun fact, funny story, found out in our group page that the one art supply that most people have, or machinery, is the Cricut that they never actually use. And I also fall in that camp. This is the third time that I've used this Cricut, and I've had it for a couple of years now. So I've already cut out the words. Super simple. It was not difficult at all. Because this is being recorded in the future, I can foreshadow and tell you it takes me a while to get the dang letters onto the sign. But it is what it is. That's the theme of this tutorial, you guys. That's the theme. All right, so the first thing that I'm going to do with this particular project is I am going to cut my words down. I did print it all on one piece of vinyl, so I'm going to cut it in half. So each of the words, I can place them where I want on the cheese board top. So that's what we're going to do right now. We'll speed this up because it takes a little bit. So for this project, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start weeding out all of the rest of the vinyl. I'm going to keep the cut out letters themselves. Just depends on the project that you want. Did you know, fun fact, you can actually use that vinyl and create it as like a stencil. So if you wanted to paint the words instead of putting the vinyl on, you just pull out the actual letters, and then what you're left with is a stencil that you could lay down and then put your paint over that. But we're going to just use the vinyl for the words. So that's what we're doing right now. And then we're going to grab some transfer tape, lay that on top of the letters, pull it all off, put it on the sign. You'll see what's happening. It takes me a while. I am not a vinyl expert by any means. Okay, so now our sign is made. Let's start working on the placement of the succulents. But the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to add moss to the bottom first. So I'm going to cover the, basically the half of the sign with this moss. You can do this either way. You can first put the moss down, or you can put it in afterwards if you want to just fill in some spaces. I am using a really dark purple. I have a ton of it. I got it on clearance a couple years ago now, and I have not gone through all of the bags. And I thought this might be a fun one to play with. Since all of the succulents were green, we can add a little pop of color that way, popping through the bottom. Now, because I'm recording this in the future, I probably would have put the succulents down first and then added the moss. I would have used a lot less moss. But again, I have bags upon bags upon bags of this moss, so I had to use it up. So once I had an idea of how much moss I was going to need, we just just glue it. Lots and lots of glue. So I'm gonna glue all of this on, and then we'll start working on putting in the succulents. All right, I feel good about the amount of moss. So now we're just gonna start adding glue to the bottom of the succulents, and we're just going to glue them on in. I am gonna start with my largest succulents to kind of fill in the space, and then all of the smaller ones to fill in the little gaps and holes. But those larger guys are really gonna take up a lot of the space on the bottom. And that's really all there is to it. Just keep adding as much as you want or as little as you want. Again, if I would have used green moss instead of purple, I probably wouldn't have filled this nearly as thick as it's going to get, just because the green moss would have matched or blended in with the green succulents. Otherwise, I feel like that purple really stood out a little bit more than I was anticipating. Now that we have our largest and mid-sized succulents in place, now it's just adding those smallest ones. I am using little mini, I think those are 1-inch American Beauties, and filling in more of the gaps. Oh, and then I also had little zinnies as well. So we're just gluing those in so that I can fill in more of that purple. Again, that purple threw me off a little bit more than I was anticipating. So we're gonna fill that in, and then we'll do some finishing touches. All right, on to the finishing touches. Now I am going to be using this plastic filler flower. I got that, I'm pretty sure I got it in a mystery box. No, I know I did. I got it in a mystery box that we did a craft on Facebook Live where I had no idea what was going to be in the box and had to make something with it. And I still had a lot of that left over. It has a little bit of a yellow-green tinge to it, but they're really, really tiny. So I thought they might be fun to sprinkle in, almost looking like either the flowers that sprout out of succulents sometimes, or some sort of other kind of like sedum-esque kind of vibe. So we're going to take those off of the stems themselves and just use the individual pieces of flowers, putting a little glue and slide them into those little holes. Like I can see some holes that are blaring right there. You see it too, right? They're there. So we're gonna stick some of those in there to fill in even more of this piece. Okay, we're not done. I lied. I needed to add more filler. So I have this particular filler piece we do carry in the shop. I believe it's like Summer Poppy. It's a really fun mix. It has lots of fun textures in it. And there's like these little puff balls. And then I'm not sure what else. I really was obsessed with the puff balls. Yeah, that's what we're going to use. So I'm clipping those all off so we can add those in as well, because it just adds a little extra little bit of texture, but also keeps going with the color theme that we have going on. And then we had these other little flower bunches that I also thought kind of pulled everything together. So I'm adding those in a couple different spots as well. And then I think we're done then after that. the finished piece. It turned out so stinking cute. I do want to show you the original that started all of this. So this one we did on Facebook Live. The blank itself I got already, it was already that really nice matte black, and we did the succulents in the center and a lot more color to the succulents, where this one we stuck to more of the green tones and then that really fun punch of teal, which is the paint color Tahiti at ohyourlovely.com. I hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial. I'm so sorry about the editing. Sometimes things just happen. It is what it is. I hope that you come back for another tutorial. There'll be another one up here next week for sure. If you're loving these videos, can't get enough, want to know when the next one goes live, make sure to subscribe and ring that bell. To find out about the 150 style Sola wood flowers along with craft supplies and greenery, go to ohyourlovely.com. But before you do, let me grab just something for you to help you along your journey. Use the toad. Use the code YouTube30 to get 30% off your first order. All right, you guys, I'm gonna head out. Again, I'm so sorry about the editing of this one. Some things just, some days you just go, it is what it is. That was what that was. All right, you guys, we'll see you super soon. I'm Stephanie from Oh You're Lovely, and you, my friends, are absolutely lovely. Bye, guys.